Thank you, Martha, for the kind arrangement and introduction, and thank you all of you girls to come here to have pizza with us and to communicate with me. Today, I'm going to present the Attracting Global Talents Chinese Talent Attraction Policy Framework. China is standing a historical juncture when she is simultaneously experiencing economic slowdown, undertaking structural reform, and digesting the legacy of previous stimulus policies. While China is in the middle of the deepened reform in all areas, it needs to open up and attract talents from all over the world more than ever. At present, China has around 100 of the world's first-class scientists, only 4% of the global total compared to 42% of the US. In this context, how to attract the world's high-level innovative minds is a crucial issue. I'll start by global situation in this field first, and then I'm going to move on to discuss Chinese progress in attracting talents in a few decades, and finally introduce policies to attract talent further. Well, man's brain power has become a strategic resource. The competition for the high-level innovative people has become more intense than ever. All countries have tried their best to own means to attract not only the well-established talents, but also the young people with development potential to come to their countries and work for them. Globally, in a 10-year period from 2000 to 2010, the number of overseas students nearly doubled and reached 5 million in 2014. The trend is mainly moving from the developing country to the developed one, from Eurasia to the US. To date, 3 characteristics showed as follows. The first, the US remains the superpower in terms of attracting global talents. America has produced 40% of the Nobel Prize winners, but have ever attracted 70% of Nobel Prize winners to go to the US to live and work. And 27% of people work in the science and engineering area in US come from elsewhere. According to one survey, among American PhD students, 75% of them intend to stay after they finish their doctoral program. Second, the traditional talent powerhouse, such as Russia, have witnessed a serious brain drain. From 1991 to 2009, Russia has lost over 3 million scientists to US and Europe. Those people at least had cost Russia trillions of dollars to cultivate in the first place. Similar trends have been seen in another young Russian scientist survey that 63% of young scientists hope to go abroad if possible. In the State of Union message in December 2012, Putin stressed that competition for intellectual power will be the most one Russia faces. He also said Russia needs to stand up to the challenge and make sure it stems the brain drain by taking more vigorous measures such as carrying a bigger budget from the federal government to support young scientists to have a higher income. Thirdly, the emerging economies are seeing a faster comeback of their nationals that previously studied and lived in overseas. With the emerging economies fasting their growth and proceeding with the liberal economic policies, the outflow of talents was somewhat lessened, and the return of talents seems to gain momentum in the most recent years. From 2009 to 2010, around 60,000 specialized experts went back to India from the US. On par the number of outbound scientists from India to US. The inbound scientists migrated at the rate of 0.6% and turned India from a land of brain drain to a net talent importer. Brazil, in order to win the hearts of those high-end intellectuals, Brazil now can issue work visas to those people without asking them to show work contracts signed by Brazilian companies. Now, next, I want to talk about the Chinese progress in attracting talents in the past few decades. The policies of attracting talents to China has been in existence throughout the process of Chinese founding, developing, and reforming stage. As we know all that the number of people willing to come back to their home country is related closely to the country's stage of economic development. When the per capita GDP of a country reached $10,000, the opportunities of career development and economic growth will naturally attract more talents to come back. On the macro level, the few trends in the flow of intellectuals into China as follows. The number of high-end foreign talents come to China began to show a robust increase. The momentum of talents returning back to China is getting increasingly evident. In recent 40 years, China has carried out more than 30 policies to attract foreign experts to work in China. Those policies provide support in areas related to personnel compensation, tax reduction, credit, and handling of entry-exit formalities. China also created a foreign expert-oriented award called the National Friendship Award to those who has made an outstanding contribution to Chinese development. And this award issued by the highest authority at the very beginning of the year, each year, together with the highest science and technology award of national. In recent years, more than 0.6 million overseas foreign experts came to China to work each year. And in recent 20 years, in order to attract the overseas students to come back, China has issued nearly 50 item policies, set up funds to support projects, provide entrepreneur assistance, and build green express routes to create job opportunities, improve the living conditions, and offer the titles of honors to them. The project called the Recruitment Program of Global Experts, also called the Thousand Talents Program, started 10 years ago. Thousands of first-class members of foreign science engineering academies attracted. Such first-class experts brought in a big number of high-quality, innovative-minded teams. At present, most of the people migrated to China are the Chinese scientists holding foreign passports or the Chinese students studying overseas. From 1978 to 2012, around 4 million Chinese students studied overseas. Until now, nearly 80% of them has come back after they graduate and finish study. In 2010, 134,000 back to China. From this year began, existing 50% of overseas students come back, and the percentage come to near 80% till last year. Such dramatic growth shows a very positive returnee attraction. Finally, I'll introduce the policies to attract talents further. China will continue to streamline the processes related to residential registration, identity, and social security. As a result, China will be more efficient in approving the talent's entry into China, in issuing talent and technology visas, and providing green cards and a competitive compensation package to them. Even more importantly, China will show full respect to the way research talents are fostered and ultimately create a new talent-based research ecosystem that opens up to the whole world. In 2016, it's last year, the CPC Central Committee circulated a document named Deepen the Reform in the Talent Management Institutions and the Mechanism, with the purpose of removing the barriers in the institutional setup and unleashing new vigor to create an internationally competitive talent attraction and mechanism system. This document set out very clear guiding principles and key targets. The raised requirements to reform that talent management institution, work mechanism, and organization approaches. This document is and remain crucial in the Chinese talent policy framework for years to come. The structure included several measures: the promoting the reform of talent management system, improving the talent training support system mechanism, innovative talent evaluation mechanism, improving the smooth flow of talent mechanism, strengthening talent innovation and entrepreneur incentive mechanism, to build an international competitive mechanism and establish a talent priority development protection mechanism. All this policy structure, I think, can come to four keywords. It's DODM. The first D is decentralization. The second is opening up. The third is diversification. And the last is marketing orientation. The decentralization means foster the discretionary human resource selection system in the institutions. It means to promote public research facilities and universities to open up their top leader posts to talents of the whole world, to recruit talents globally for part of their research posts, to set up short-term posts to recruit international brains, to undertake short-term cooperation and academic exchanges of ideas and experiences, to establish international postdoctoral station to employ PhD students or associate PhD degrees from all around the world and provide them with according financial support. Allow the state-owned companies and public institutions to offer market-based compensation packages to attract international talents. The second, opening up, means further opening up programs to attract talents overseas. In order to attract more Chinese returnee and foreign talents to participate in the key research programs, China will take a gradual approach to opening up the Chinese national science and technology programs and plans to the foreign institutions, organizations, and individuals. Apart from those programs, projects, related to the national defense and highly sensitive areas, the National Key Science and Technology Program and other key research projects allowed to involve foreign researchers and institutions in the laboratory's work. Diversification means exploring diversified and soft ways to attract talents. China will support the high-level Chinese intellectuals to cooperate with their foreign counterparts in the international science and technological community. At the same time, China will provide greater support for them to implement international cooperative science and technology plans, make people-to-people exchange plans, and assign more researchers overseas. China will beef up efforts to collaborate with foreign universities to train postgraduate students, to support the international academic exchange co-sponsoring of foreigners. Also, China will support the Chinese research institutes and universities to go global and set up overseas branches so that they can explore building an international network overseas. And fostering, and the last is the marketing orientation, means foster a market of providing human resource services. We should support the development of intermediaries that can search for, identify, and recruit specialized human resources to help us create more channels of attracting talents. We will also take actions to nurture the headhunters and enable them to play a more important role. China is also investing to create public service platform so that SME, that means small and medium enterprises, will have an easy access to professionalized service. We also need to work hard to promote policies to have a higher public awareness. That's the framework and the macro level. And in the beginning of this year, a new regulation about the green card come into effect. You know, China began to allow permanent residence in 2004. And from 2008 to 2014, there are only 7,000 more foreigners were granted. Compared to US, it's very low level. For Chinese, it's not a migrating country. But in 2016, it's last year, it has 1,576 foreigners were granted Chinese permanent residence. It's increased at 163%. So that means more and more foreigners like to work in China, and more and more overseas Chinese personnel want to come back to work in China. All the policies means opening China, welcome all of the talents come back to China to work and live. Thank you. I think I just gave a structured introduction, and I'd like to hear some comments about the Chinese talent policies, or you want to communicate with me about what you want to know. Thank you.
Any questions? Yep. I have more. Thank you for the presentation. This is very interesting. I wanted just like two clarifications. If you could go back to the slides at the beginning statistics when they talked about the 75. I think that one. Go back. Yeah. Could you clarify again this slide, because I wasn't sure. What's the 75% PhD student part?
Yeah, it's from one survey that 70% students who are not American born. That means.
So it means 75% of PhD students in the U.S. are foreign.
And no,
I was confused about that.
yeah. It means the PhD students who studied in U.S. that not their homeland, and then the percentage is 75%. Yeah, they want to stay.
So are you saying 75% of PhD students who are not American stay in the U.S. after their program?
Want to stay.
Want to
stay. Yeah, it's a desire survey. Yeah, when. Yes. I just ask them for where. Yeah, you want to leave, you want to work after you graduate, and that's it, the percentage. Yes, yeah.
And then when you talk about the numbers of students who are coming to study mainly in the U.S., right, or overseas, the Chinese students, there's 80% of them that are coming back from those. So 80% of them come back?
Yeah.
Is that this hard statistic, or it's a perception?
Yeah, it's a perception. You can say from the right year is 2016, much similar with the 2015. You can say the student out overseas exceeds 50,000. Yeah. And the students coming back that year are raised above the 80%. Yeah.
Is there any breakdown of these figures? How many undergraduate students went back after completing the program, or graduate or PhD?
Yeah.
I assume graduate students, all of them, like go back, and at the master level and PhD level, these numbers kind of decrease.
Yeah, your judgment has makes sense. Yeah, the structure of overseas students is 80% of them are graduates, and around 10 are undergraduate, and less than 10% are PhD students. So this trend are impacted mostly by the graduate students, you say. Yeah, graduate students are the main body of the overseas students. Yeah. Okay.
I have just a kind of an additional information question based on this slide.
Mm-hmm.
So they're returning to China. So these students theoretically go to China. Do you know how many people are actually getting a job in their field? Do you know what I mean? So if you have a degree in technology and you make noodles, or you have a family business, or you have something else, talent acquisition is very relative.
Yeah, actually, I have no concrete data for the recruitment or employee. But I know every local government in China has their policies to attract and absorb the student overseas, especially if they have experience. It's more competent. Of course, if some of them back to China to go to their career or their study experience, or in another way, I think, but I haven't got the exact data.
I'm just curious about the last year's presentation. The 163% higher than the 2015, right? So how do you think, what is the main point of the
not what happened in 2015. It's happened in 2016. There is a green card regulation issued that year. That's gave the green card more freedom, just like ID card, Chinese ID card, and streamline the entry and exit way for to foreigners, and that means from this year begin, China make great efforts to attract the high level talent. So I think this year or the year coming, this figure will still go up dramatically.
What you referenced that there have been policies to bring Chinese students back. Of those policies, what has been most effective, or what is that the students resonate most with to bring them back?
Yeah, I think there are several reasons. The first about I think the compensation packages is one reason. And if a student comes back to China, has an overseas study experience, the institute will give them more. Yeah, that's one reason. Another is the local government need more experienced students to open in their overseas business. So the work opportunity will be broken up. Yeah. And the third, actually, some of them back to China, as somebody has said, they can't find appropriate job in US, and I think that's also a reason. But I think, just like I have said, the economic development give her or give him the good opportunity to find a job and coming back to their home country. Yeah.
Are there specific fields on these overseas talents which are more have easier ways to get the green card? I don't know how to say that. For example, here in the US, if you're a scientist, it's easier for you to get the green card. You have priority. So are there priorities given in the green card for specific fields that are not in China?
Yes, I think what you said is yes, it's not very easy to get a green card actually. With one word, green card, most green card give to those have outstanding contributions to Chinese development or economic or social or science and technology. And there are three levels. The first is they are really improve the friendship between the nations or among the nations. And the second level, it's the sense, it's work in science and technology, educational and cultural and sanitation, and so on. This kind of technological areas. And the third, I think, is they need make outstanding contributions. So we can see from these pictures, the one in the middle is.
So the green card is not contributing to the diversification of the talent, right? It's just.
I have a question about the social perceptions of having like a foreign degree. So in you'll get a higher compensation because you have a degree from somewhere else. My question is if this person that's the degree holder is seen like outside the Chinese system. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's very hierarchical where like you're the student, then assistant professor, then dean, right?
That's just one reason. And most impaction for their absorber is about the contribution and the fruit, the research fruit we have get.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you are you are just a doctor or PhD, yeah, but you are very innovative and you have new idea and you have very very kind thought, and you can come back. And if company or institute want you back, it's no problem. You know, several young people, just 30 years old, and with PhD degree, they have got a very excellent career in China nowadays. So hierarchy is, I don't think it really exists in the system.
Okay. My question is about this, it kind of related to the previous question. Can graduates from Western universities, can they find a job at the Chinese government? Because I know in many countries, not like it's kind of an unofficial approach that graduates from especially Western universities, they are not welcome at the government positions. So what about China? Can those students, can they find a job at the government?
Actually, China encouraged the postdoctor station, and they encourage the student to do the postdoctor post, to apply postdoctor post in universities or institutes. But actually, as you said, you want to get a job. Actually, in
Just
this
the government or not the ministry or any governmental agencies, are they?
I don't think so. Yeah, no, it's not related. The first step is you should get the green card first. It's like identity card. Yeah, you can have ID card first, then you can entry or you can apply work as a citizen. But you have, but the real student have the work permits. Yeah, work permits after they graduate. They can apply work permits in the green card policy. Another way.
Are there specific countries or regions that China looks to foster talent development to come into China?
Actually, no specific agent areas. All areas and all regions now have their specific policies to attract the talents all over the world. You know, in some west region in China is not development, but they still give much support and policies to the talent who want to come to their place to work and to live.
How has the One Belt, One Road policy affected talent management? I think this is kind of what Martha's getting at, but maybe a little bit more specific.
One
One Belt, One Road?
one bar, one road. Can you explain more?
Shoot, I don't remember what the Chinese is. Is this policy where
But you said the Silk Road, yes?
yeah.
Yeah.
So how does this policy affect talent management or talent acquisition?
Yeah. Actually, have the impact on the talents. programs to do training on the special topic about sensing technology policies and some special areas. I think it's very positive to them.
I have one other question. You referenced entrepreneurial incentives. What do those look like? What do entrepreneurial incentives look like in China in regards to encouraging Chinese graduates to come back and use their talents in your country?
Yes. In China there are about around 100 more science parks, and there are in each science park there are so many incubator. Some incubator is just open for the foreign overseas personnel, and to give them entrepreneur assistance in law, in funding, in human resource, and every services they need, and sometimes free space to them to open their startups. So I think that's good to graduate students who has no money or no experience and no other resources. But they can, if they have a good idea, China local service in Central Park and incubators can give them more support than they imagine.
Any other questions?
What kind of area that China think that they're searching for talent from the other countries? Kind of talent.
Karen?
Talent.
What kind of talent does China want?
Yeah.
What kind of it's rather I think the most from the person who has come back to China, you can get some information. Half of them are work in the science and engineering areas. Half of them. And so also includes teachers in universities and some actress also and sports and also, but half of them, the main one is science and technology engineering.
Any other final questions? Any other final comments or thoughts you wish to add?
Thank you, Mother, and thank you all of my girls to come here to communicate with me. Yeah, it's very excellent questions, and I'll improve my PowerPoint. And I hope I have another chance to communicate with you all. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.